Hello, welcome back to Versus Live. I am Ross Merriam.
I'm Todd Anderson.
And we are gearing up for the last match of the day, continuing our exploration of War of the Spark Standard. Got two more sweet decks for you. On my side, I am finally playing with Teferi, the Time Reveler. It's a card that's been previewed for a while now, and we yet to see it here, and I wanted to rectify that. And
well, it's one of those planeswalkers that just feels like it might be a little difficult to understand how to make it good, because it's so different. But that's the same way with a lot of the planeswalkers we've been seeing.
Yeah, so I wanted to be able to take advantage of all of its abilities here. You know, you're going to take advantage of the -3 most effectively by having some creatures of your own to be able to pressure your opponent. So I do. I'm not super aggressive. You know, just got Thief of Sanity, Hostage Taker, but you know, being able to clear away a blocker or slow down your opponent so you can take advantage of the more powerful effects is still going to be important. Mm-hmm. You're always going to be able to take advantage of your opponent not being able to cast spells in your turn. And I've got a few powerful sorceries to try to cast at instant speed with the +1.
Yeah, time wipe. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, time wipe is the primary one.
Yeah, that card seems pretty nice. Being able to cast that one at instant speed, protecting like your Thief of Sanity or something just feels real good.
Yeah, Route was a standard mainstay back when 20 years ago or so, and that one cost 7 mana. This one's going to cost 5, and normally
18 actually.
Okay.
But all right.
Normally a Wrath effect is going to be a little awkward in a deck with 10 or 15 creatures like this one has, but being able to bounce exactly one of yours, that's probably the number you're going to have, is going to be really nice. And even if I bounce Hostage Taker or Deputy, that's actually going to be even better because I'll give back my opponent the creature I took, then it'll die, and then I'll have it back in my hand to be able to take the follow-up. So a lot to like, especially with instant speed on Time Wipe. And I've got one copy of Karn's Temporal Sundering, which if you cast that in an instant speed, I'm pretty sure the game ends.
Yeah, I can't imagine that it doesn't.
Yeah. Your opponent like taps out, they've got their nice board all set, they're like, do your worst. And end step, bounce that thing. Also, I'll take 2 turns, use 1 turn to wreck your board, the other turn to like pull really far ahead. And I'm excited. I've got a ton of Planeswalkers and Fibblethip as an early creature. It's a legend to enable casting it. A lot of great Planeswalkers in this set. I've got Sorin with just enough creatures to bring back for value. We've got both Teferis. I've got 1 Kasmina as a nice value card that also protects your other planeswalkers and applies a little bit of pressure. So just a good solid mid-range deck. I got our Thought Erasures, our Cast Downs, our Mortifies, a couple of Vraska's Contempts sitting around somewhere. They might be in the sideboard, but
sure. All right, for my side of things, I'm going to be playing what is effectively Zach Keeney's Selesnya tokens list. He used this recently to take down the Classic at the most recent SCG Open, and the list looked pretty solid. And Keeney is known for playing this Selesnya tokens deck, and I wanted to try out Johnny the Great-Hearted in one of these token decks at some point, because the Minus ability just feels really powerful. Being able to put a counter on all your stuff, and also being able to just give all your creatures vigilance means you can just keep attacking and still hold up your creatures for things like Conclave Tribunal, Venerated Luxodon, and March of the Multitudes during your opponent's end step. So
it also means that your Johnny the Greathearted probably isn't dying because you have a bunch of blockers that are now bigger, and that's going to secure the next activation because you get to minus it twice. So that second Gabony Township activation is probably going to put the game away.
Yeah, and that was my thoughts exactly. So we're trying out a Johnny the Greathearted as the mainstay. I'm also playing a couple copies of Tolsimir, Friend of Wolves. I don't think it's better than Tristani, and it's currently sitting in the Tristani spot, but I want to see how good it is because it does give a deck that doesn't have that much interaction as far as killing creatures is concerned a bit of a boost. It's a good standalone threat, which makes it a little bit better against Wrath effects, I think, than Tristani, but not that much. Tristani's a pretty good standalone threat on our own.
I was impressed enough by Tolsimir that I'm willing to try it out over Tristani. So we'll see how that goes. Should also be pretty good against my deck. It kills basically every creature. Fighting Deputy, Hostage Taker, Thief of Sanity is really nice. So that's a card that I'm really worried about. I'd much rather see Tristani, at least for this matchup. You're going to be on the play?
Yep. All right. Let's go ahead and draw our opening hands and get to the match.
Hands.
What do we got?
All right. Well, we got the things we want to do. We got this.
I also have the things I want to do.
Well, I mean, I'm trying out the new cards, and I just have one of the new cards in my hand, and so
Health Fountain.
Hopefully, it's great.
I've just got a good mix of stuff and a strong curve.
All right, Saproling Migration. I'm going to make some Saprolings.
I am going to start on a Thought Erasure.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, let's take the Johnny, and I don't think I need another land, so we can bin that. 18.
If I get hit with a Deputy Detention, I'm going to be upset.
Well, I only have 2 in my deck.
And I have 1 in my hand.
Thieves of Sanity. You're up.
That's pretty good still.
Yeah. I'm not going to kick it out of bed for eating crackers.
I don't know what that means, but all right. Sapper Migration again, and then I'm going to tap 4 of them and pay a white.
Okay.
All right, all 4 of these have a counter on them. I'm not going to put a die on every single one. And did I play land? No.
No.
I'm going to play land.
Attack you for 2. So 18 all. That is what they call in the business a tilt.
I thought they called it a
Let's
womp.
play a Fibble Thip.
Sure.
That is a whiff into a tilt.
And a tapped Water Grave and pass the turn.
So I'm probably getting time wiped next turn, but we're going to just jam all of our stuff. Attack for all of it.
Yeah, jump to 4/4 and
Take 12?
10, right?
Yeah, 10, sorry.
I'm at 8.
Here we go.
Attack you for 2. I will select this one. And we got 2 blue whites. I'll play another Watery Grave and go to 6. And let's time wipe, bounce my thief.
Pretty good.
I thought so.
Pretty good.
So you can go.
Just the classic 4 for 1. This is I cast a Tristani, okay? I'm just kidding. It costs 2 green. So now I have to burn my flower to go get a forest, and then I'm gonna play it. Oh no, I
Okay.
should probably just wait, right? Kill your Thief of Sanity. But you might have a counter spell. I'm just gonna do it. 6 power. You're at
Also,
you're at 6.
Also,
right?
like Thief with a removal spell up. Because the Tolsmere has to stay in play when the token enters.
The turtle is what we have.
All right,
Yeah,
that's fine.
so you're going to go to 21.
Sure.
Yeah, and I'm at 6. I shocked to play the time wipe.
All
So.
right. So if he doesn't have a removal spell, we get to force a chump.
And I will play this land tapped, and I have my own Tolsimir. I'm going to gain 3 and fight down your Tolsimir. So I go to 9.
Sure.
Pass the turn.
You have how many cards in hand?
5.
Oh. All right, you win.
I wanted to do so many cool things.
All I had was lands. You took my planeswalker. You killed all my stuff.
I was going to play Sorin into Fairy and bounce your turn. Bounce your thing.
Okay, buddy.
It was going to be
All right.
sweet. Then I'm going to
Okay,
play another Teferi.
All right, get out of here.
Ross,
let's
it was
play another
already
game.
sweet for you.
Come on.
Please
Get
be
out of here.
considerate.
Look, you did your thing. Yeah, you time wiped me. It looked good. Bounced your thing. It was fine. Great. Good job.
I just wanted to play my sweet Planeswalkers.
Then you should have cast them.
I was going to cast next turn.
Win slower.
Yeah.
He was at 21 still. We had plenty of time left to play that game.
All right. Now you're tilting me.
All right. While we're shuffling, any comments from the chat?
Someone talking legacy? Question mark. How do you guys feel about Tomek? I believe that's the white being a part of Death and Taxes.
They do some heavy-handed stuff sometimes in Wizards. This is more than that. This is the most heavy-handed card I have ever seen, and I would rather it not see play just to show them that they're not supposed to do that.
I mean, it shuts down your own ports and wastelands, so I don't even think it's good in Death
No,
Nexus.
it doesn't. It's only your opponents.
So your opponents?
Yeah, it's stupid.
Okay, well, yeah. Put that in your deck and play it against the lands decks.
Yeah, great. Look, man, it hits you over the head. It's so straightforward. I hate it.
So
I hate it.
no
so much.
no reason to put Sarah Avenger in your deck anymore.
Yeah, that's fair. That card was always bad anyway.
Yeah, I
People
don't
are
think they've been playing it for a while,
asking
but
about, where is it? Tameo. I think you guys read about it.
yeah, we saw that during one of the breaks that came up while we were live, and it is a very strange card. It has a lot of weird abilities, but I don't think they add up to anything particularly good.
I agree.
I think the +1 is incredibly unreliable. I'm not.
The static is very contextual, and the fact that 2 of the 3 abilities are like, not in love with it.
So once I see that, I think, well, okay, how good is this -3? And it's like, okay, but not great. So I think you're going to end up like trying to play that and minusing, and then plussing and hoping to get a card, and then minusing again. It's just going to be a slow double regrowth for 4 mana. Doesn't seem great.
Yeah. All right. Well, my hand's pretty good here, so I'm going to be on the play for game 2.
My hand is very slow, but if I draw anything to do in the first couple turns, it can be very good. So let's try it.
Tight. All right. There you go.
Ugh. Pass.
Wager a land. You mad?
Take that dive.
Ooh. Triple tip. Draw card.
Nice. That's pretty good.
Last turn, yeah. That was ideal. Block.
I'm going to play a Tithe Taker and play a Flower Flourish and get a land. Your turn.
Ooh. That was ideal.
Ugh.
Pass.
Okay. All right, buddy.
Just curving perfectly. This is going to be a big turn for Todd. He's got to really create a battlefield here to pressure me. But definitely has the chance to do that. Sapling Migration into Loxodon would be nice. Cannot history into a Loxodon. Maybe just history into Tribunal on my Thief. That would also be good. I will block one of them and take 2. 18. You get a black and white spirit token. We got Jadines for that.
Cool. All right, and then I'm just going to play a History of Benalia in my land. Go 2/2 and say go.
Okay, I will mush you.
Yep, go to 18.
Ooh. Thought you were going to block to prevent this.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot I had a token.
Is that your plan? Oh, yeah, I thought that was your plan.
Yeah, totally a plan.
Not sure if you'd rather have the token.
I'll just take it the first time.
Okay,
Whatever.
18. Which one of those do I want? I think I want this one.
Okay.
And now I'm going to just try to stabilize the board a bit. No, I'm playing not that good. We're playing Kazmina.
Okay.
I'm going to minus and make a 2/2 blue wizard and loot. What do we got for wizards?
It's the sloth, but you gotta put a counter on
We
it.
have a 1/1 lizard, or blue wizard.
It's a 2/2.
Okay.
And let's discard this Hallowed Fountain and pass the turn.
All right, draw for turn. Chapter 2. Playing a Johnny. Minus attack.
Re-attacking Kazmina with things,
No.
or just me?
Yeah.
Okay, I will block the Tithe Taker and take 8. Go to 10.
8? 3, 5?
Oh, that
This
can't attack.
This can't attack. So.
Okay, I'm at 13.
All right, and I get a spirit.
Yep.
Here you go.
Attack.
Block.
Oh,
I'll snap.
no, didn't that spirit attack?
Yeah,
Oh,
it
that's
has
vigilance
And
on
you let it
this.
through.
Okay, so I can't attack.
So you're just going to time wipe me?
Yep.
Okay. Probably should have killed a Kazmina.
And I guess we'll make another wizard, loot, and discard. You have 3 in hand. I'm going to discard to fairy.
Yikes.
You can go.
All right, I'm gonna go Legion's Landing and Tide Taker, and then minus Where's my vampire? God, I have so many tokens. I hate this.
Did we
And
Don't
we
think
don't
we
even
have
have one.
vampires.
Great. Nice.
You're off your game, Taylor.
I wasn't even in charge of the joke.
All right. Well, they don't fly. I got 2 things. They can both check the that and all my was it spells and abilities or just spells?
Spells.
All right.
Yeah, your stuff is still fine. I am going to.
1/1 vampire. What you got for me, Ross?
I'm going to play Thief of Sanity and Deputy of Detention, and I'm not. I think I Deputy the Tithe Taker,
They're supposed to be white.
and then I'm going to attack at Johnny for 2.
So you deputy tie taker and you attack Johnny for 2.
Yep.
All right. I will block, I guess.
Okay, you gain 2 life.
Yep.
And pass the turn. So you're at 20. I'm at 13.
Yep. Conclave Tribunal? Nope.
You're at 23.
Go. Maybe I shouldn't have blocked.
Send Thief at a Johnny and Deputy at you. I just want to deal with Todd's stuff. You go to 22, play a tapped Watery Grave, and then kick a Sapling Migration. So,
Okay.
4 saplings for me. Pass the turn.
All right, you win. I quit.
Play one more turn, please.
Play a Sapling Migration. Here
Yep.
we go.
Okay. Bounce a sapling, take another turn.
Make 2 1/1s.
Attack you with all of my things. We need soldiers.
I know there's got to be there.
They're not.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
it was good knowing you, everyone.
It's fine. I'll just use life.
Show.
They're life linking. I'm just gonna use vampires, man. Okay. I will block these 2, I guess. I don't
So
know.
that cancels out that.
No, I'm just not gonna block.
Okay.
I don't care.
So you take 7.
Yeah.
Brings you to 15. I trigger Thief. I will select this one.
Okay.
And then go to my extra turn.
Sure. Why don't you just take the overrun? Kill me.
What over? Oh, I didn't even see that was the other card. Does that kill you?
I don't know. Probably not.
No, and you're at 15. Yeah, I'd rather have the card I took.
Okay.
Let's play. Well, I guess we'll Thief first, but only attack with Thief. You're at 13. Take this one. Play it. Tap these, get a token. Venerated locks it on. Then play Teferi, bounce one of your life linking tokens and draw a card. And play this tapped and pass the turn.
Can I have my card back?
I think I have more of your cards than you do.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did, if you count the tokens for sure. All right, well, we're going to take a short break here while we get sideboards together.
2 seconds.
I
just need 2 seconds to set that up.
Okay.
The break. Sorry.
Sure. Game 1 there feels pretty bad. Time Wipe Rats in general are quite good against this deck, but I don't know. Anyway, we're going to take a short break, so we'll be right back. Alrighty, we were sideboarding for the third and final match of the day, and on my side, we're going to be cutting a lot of our token generators, namely because they're not that good against sweeper matchups. When you play against things like Kai's Wrath, cards like Sapling Migration, March of Multitudes get a lot worse. And on top of that, Ross also just has Deputy Detentions. There's like a chance that, like in game 1, we drew 3 Sapling Migrations, and obviously he got undone by a time wipe. But if he had just drawn Deputy Detention, he would have been able to clean up 6 creatures, and that's pretty annoying. So we're going to try to have cards that are a bit better by themselves in the early game. Danto Vanguard can come down, dodges all the sweepers, just hammers home pretty quickly. Unfortunately, Moment of Craving, Cry of the Carnarium do take care of it, but that's something that just has to be expected at this point. We're bringing in 7 ways to be able to interact with Thief of Sanity, but they're not that bad on their own. Baffling End can knock off Deputy Detention, and Vivian Reed can just potentially dig through my deck and find me some creatures to play. But since we're cutting a lot of the tokens, we are trimming 2 Venerated Luxons as a result. So.
Yeah, so you just become less synergistic and more standalone mid-range. On my side, I am treating Todd like a fairly aggressive deck, bringing in my early removal, especially to deal with the Danto Vanguard. We're also bringing in a couple negates, just because this card has a lot of targets in the matchup, especially with Planeswalkers. Not negate, Dovin's Veto. With Planeswalkers often coming out of the sideboard for Selesnya. We're trimming a lot of our Planeswalkers. I think Kasmina is the worst one in this matchup. Its static ability doesn't really do much, and the 2/2s don't do a whole lot to stabilize the board, at least at 4 mana. I'm trimming 1 of each to Fairy and then 1 Sorin. I'm not really sure which Planeswalkers are the worst. It's a new deck, so we're just keeping some of all of them in. And then I think Cast Iron is our worst removal spell. We're bringing in better removal. You don't want too much spot removal against the token deck. Like they're still playing History of Dahlia, Legion's Landing, things like that. And then Mortify can also handle the enchantment-based removal, so I'm leaving in my Mortifies. But I could see, trimming a Mortify and leaving another Planeswalker in if I need to be a bit more powerful here.
All right, Mr. Taylor, anything from chat?
No, and I asked for questions. So
what a bunch of jerks.
Yeah. Well, let's see. What do we have here? Do you think cards with mill effects like Thief of Sanity get better with the Eternal Gods being printed? Milling or countering seems to be the only way to stop them completely.
I don't know. I don't think Thief of Sanity necessarily is the thing that should be targeting. I honestly have no idea. I don't know how to evaluate the ability on those cards very easily. I don't know. I mean, they're going to have to be pretty insane to see play because they're all going to be pretty expensive. I don't know if they're all going to be 5 mana, but the 2 we've seen so far do cost 5 mana. I don't know. Next question. I don't know.
Well, Ross, do you have any thoughts?
I don't know. I think unless the game's going to go really long, I think answering the card for 3 turns and then knowing it's coming and being able to set up for it is probably fine. I think people play removal spells that put the thing back on top of the deck, and it's not like the cards those kinds of effects are only playable in conjunction with Thought Scour and ways to manipulate the top of their deck. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't be too worried about making sure I need to completely remove a god unless I absolutely knew that I couldn't beat it or race it.
Sure. No, that makes sense. All right, let's take a couple more if we got them. If not, we'll just go and start.
I have a question. Favorite card that's not playable in Standard?
Favorite card not playable?
A card you really want to see playable in Standard, but it just...
Primal Amulet.
Yeah?
I tried really hard.
I would have to think about mine. Most of the cards I like that I liked during previous seasons are seeing play. Mainly the Convoke cards. I'm a big Venerated Loxodon fan.
Yeah, that card's great. Your turn.
I'm sure there's one though. I got a tap Godless Shrine.
All right.
Oh yeah, people keep asking about Massacre Girl. I forgot about that. Your card, thoughts on that card?
I think it is a very good Magic card. I'm not sure exactly how to use it, but we're thinking about that, and you'll see it next week, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's play a Thibblethip and draw a card. You're up. Go.
They gave blue Elvish Visionary.
Teferi?
Sure.
I will bounce your Tithe Taker. Draw a card. Attack for 1.
Yep.
You're 19. You can go.
Let's go Tithe Taker, Baffling in this. Is it when it's targeted by spell or ability?
Yeah, spell.
So shuffle it in.
No, just spell.
Just spell?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, go. I want to go do that so I can potentially threaten to attack with Tithe Taker and free up my mana next turn.
Plus the Teferi and Hostage Taker, the Tithe Taker.
Okay.
You can go.
Yes! Yes! Tolsimir, fight.
It's pretty good.
All right, gain 3 life, and then I'm going to get time warped. Your turn. So
What are life totals at?
23 to me, and
22. You took one from the field.
that's right.
I'm still at 20.
Sure. 22, and then you're still at 20.
Good to see knocking on your deck still works.
Oh, yeah, every time. I'm going to get time wiped at instant speed. Great.
Well, Tithe Taker sort of prevents that.
Ooh, nice. Fair enough.
Nice.
But yes, I will time wipe.
Okay, fine.
You get a Spirit, and I'll pass the turn.
Attack it for 1. Just going to hard cast. This is why we cited 2 of these out.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Plus.
Yep.
You can go.
Is it the next one or just all of your things?
Until your next turn, you may cast sorcery spells so they had flash.
All right, both at Teferi.
Mortify the Loxodon.
He did.
Teferi to 2.
All right, we'll play Legion's Landing.
Yep.
All right, get a 1/1, and then I'll play another Venerated Loxodon and put a counter on the Legion's Landing token.
You have 2 in hand.
I have 1
1 in hand. Well, I will plus this Teferi. Play a new Teferi. Minus the new Teferi on Venerated Loxodon. Draw a card.
Okay.
And then I will pass the turn.
Cry of the Carnarium. I see. All right, send him at Teferi.
Cry the Carnarium. Another 5 mana 4/4.
Your turn.
Plus and pass. We're in fine shape here on my side. It's just about whether, like, I've boarded low on ways to, pull ahead on cards. So I just need to find one. But we are not doing it. There's nothing I want to bounce, so we're just going to plus this.
No, you could do, you could go like minus on this to get this one back, draw a card, and then minus on this to draw a card and get a 3/3 or something.
And you just baffling end the 3/3 and hit this thing. I guess I get to draw cards.
You get to draw 2 cards.
Yeah, I guess that does the. But it leaves.
Oh no, you bounce my Conclave Tribunal.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It lets you deal with this Teferi basically, but
Yeah.
it turns this Teferi into a divination and forces you to spend 6 mana on your turn.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually think that's good.
Okay.
So I am going to minus, and then we'll get this one, and we'll minus the baffling end, get a 3/3, and we'll draw 2 cards.
Remember that token.
I guess I can. No, I definitely want to do that. So we have already played a land this turn, and I will. I'll pass.
Go.
Plus and mush.
19.
Pass. I also have Dovin's Veto in my deck. I could have drawn one of those.
Yeah.
You have Danny DeVito in your deck?
I wish.
All right. History of Benalia.
Sure.
Chapter 1.
Anything else?
I'm thinking. So, like, I don't really want to play this Baffling End yet. And the Teferi is not that dangerous yet. So, I'll just say go. Fairy Time Raveler is looking pretty good, though. I'll say that.
This looked okay. Attack for 3.
It's felt a lot better than it seems, I think.
16. Play is tapped and Hostage Taker the Knight. You can go.
All right, Tribunal the Teferi. Baffling in the token, I guess. Pretty sure I'm just gonna walk into a Thief of Sanity, but I don't really have any, much else to do. And my life total is getting chunked.
Hostage Taker the Knight. Attack for 2.
Great. All right, you win. I quit.
Come on.
Let's just play like different.
I've got 2/2/3s. You can get like a Tulsimir and you're back in this game.
That's fair.
You're at 14.
All right, go.
It's a good draw. Fibblethip.
Sure.
Karn's Temporal Sundering. Bounce the Tribunal. Get Teferi. Bounce the Tithe Taker. Draw a card.
Sure.
And go to my turn.
Attack for 4.
Or attack for 4. Yeah, you're at 10. And draw. Thought erase you. Take the Tribunal. We'll leave that one on top. Teferi, draw into this negate. Plus it. Attack for 5.
At 5.
Brings you to 5. End step, untap 2 lands. You can go.
Is the Sundering exiled by chance?
Yep.
Yeah. Play Tithe Taker. I can just Teferi -3 and attack for lethal.
All right.
So-
Tithe Taker. Here you go.
Minus on your Tithe Taker.
All right.
Attack.
Thinking.
What? What are you thinking about?
Thinking. Oh, I'm sorry. You made me sit here for like an extra 5 minutes, so I figured
It was one turn.
What extra turn?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was like 4 turns.
It was, the fallout from that turn.
Okay. All right.
I handed a Karn's Temporal Sundering I couldn't cast, and I ripped Fibblethip into Teferi.
I'm gonna re-sideboard.
Into
I'm
Thought
just
Erasure.
gonna cut a Danto Vanguard.
Well, you drew lands.
Yeah.
So
It's fine. I'm gonna sideboard.
if I had drawn lands and you had drawn a Tulsimir, the game could have turned around.
I'm going to re-sideboard, and then we're gonna play again.
Okay. Got any
Oh,
questions
show
in the
overhead.
meantime, Taylor?
No, just a lot of salty mochats.
Oh, dude, you ain't wrong. I'm salty AF
Where
right now.
where on the salt meter would you say Todd lies right now? Is he above Convention Center Pretzel?
That might actually just be it.
That might be it. He's
that right
close.
there?
That's the strong line. I think he might be a little under Convention Center Pretzel. I'm not sure what that one was. Like just a regular pretzel,
Dan,
maybe.
you listening?
Yeah, Dan. What's the salt meter again? I know it ends at Dead Sea.
Yep. Before that is sewers. Before that, Himalayan salt lamp.
Yeah,
Say sewers?
maybe Todd's around Himalayan salt lamp. I would say.
That's a good thing.
I haven't won very many games today.
Yeah, that is true.
Like,
You flooded
the
a lot.
The days were look. Also, I don't know if y'all know this. It's like 82 degrees in this room right now. It's very hot, and when I'm losing, my temperature also goes up because I get mad. And right now, I am just sweating profusely under this shirt.
Would you say you're steaming?
People in the chat have suggested Botswana salt flats, soy sauce on Salt Lake City ramen.
Yeah, high sodium soy sauce. None of this green bottle, low sodium nonsense.
Look, I'm very glad that all of
Hey,
Ross's
Solaris,
decks
82
work.
is not nice.
I'm very glad that all of Ross's decks work.
I mean, I'm pretty
also-
happy with this, given that like you're playing a proven standard deck over there, and
Poorly.
I'm kind of thrashing it.
I'm playing it poorly.
And you have been drawing a lot of lands. That's
Hey,
unusual.
no, that's fine. Look, I don't need no sympathy. I'm just mad. Just let me be mad. You know, it's not about the nail. Just let me be mad. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Well, you're on
All
the
right,
play.
look at those hands.
Great. Go. I'm gonna win this one.
Water Grave Pass.
I'm gonna win this one. All right. Tithe Taker.
Thought Erasure you.
Tolsmere, Venerated, Migration, Legion's Landing. Probably should have Saproling Migration over Tithe Taker, actually. I'm going to do that instead. Do you still want to play the...
Yes, I still want to Thought Erasure you.
Just because it gives me more virtual mana with my Venerated Luxon and stuff, so... Now he kind of, like, needs to take this, unless he has, like...
I will take the Legion's Landing.
That's fair. That's a good one to take.
Do not need another land, so let's bin that. I'm expecting just a Loxodon here. No. Interesting.
Zach, here you
go. That brings me to 18.
I probably should have, to be honest. Because it presents quite a bit of damage. And now I have to take another turn off, and I only dealt 2.
Okay, well, that changes my line here. And now I get to play this tapped and just Thought Erasure the Loxodon. And still don't need another land.
Alright, attack for 4. Here we go.
I'm at 14. Now I will Thought Erasure again. Take the Tolsimir. And yeah, I'll keep that. And Moment of Craving the Tithe Taker. Go to 16. You get a Spirit. Would like to do that on Todd's turn, but you know, Tithe Taker has an ability. 13.
Go.
Maybe you should have kept one of these lands. I kind of want a 5th land this turn, but I will Deputy of Detention the Saprolings. And pass.
Play this. Go. Yeah, I should have just made 8 power on turn 3. I'm a big idiot. And Ross would have to have like a couple of different things.
It's Hostage Taker and hope there's no removal spell on the other side. Attack for 1. So 19, 13.
Yeah, attack for 2.
11.
Tribunal the Hostage Taker. Go.
Now we're in a tough spot. Fibblethip. And pass the turn.
Attack.
Double block.
Okay. Kill them.
Deputy first.
Yeah, no, I have to play around moment.
Yeah.
I'll put
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious what I have. So you order the Fibblethip first. So I gain 2, take 2. Life total stays the same.
Go.
Fibblethip.
Yup.
Pass the turn. Really looking for a sweeper here. I'll chump here to save some life. Go to 9.
Here you go.
Pass the turn.
Attack.
Do I go to 3 here and chump next turn? So if I draw Time Wipe, I can have the Deputy back?
Doesn't sound like a bad idea.
Also, actually, if I draw Teferi, I can like bounce Deputy the Tribunal, Hostage Taker this, which seems great. So I think I should take it. So I'm at 3.
All right, here you go.
Speak of the devil.
What, Teferi or Time Wipe?
Teferi.
So you're going to bounce the Tribunal? Or are you going to bounce the...
I'm going to bounce the Deputy. Draw a card. Then I'm going to play this Deputy the Tribunal. Get back Hostage Taker. And Hostage Taker the Loxodon.
Okay.
No. I think I should just Hostage Taker the token.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can go.
Attack.
Block.
Okay. Kick a Saproling Migration.
Dovin's Veto.
Danny DeVito.
Okay, here we go.
Chat says this deck should be Esper, steal all your things.
Ugh.
That's
Plus
the easy one.
Attack
Yep.
for 1, you go to 18. You can go.
You're at 5?
I am at 3.
Okay. Attack you.
Bounce this thing. Take another turn.
Go.
Okay, my extra turn.
Yep. So you get 2 in a row.
Yep.
So you get plus.
Do nothing.
Okay.
Next turn. Thought erasure you. Unsurprising that it's a land. Spin that. Minus bounce that, draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
And attack you for 1.
Yep.
Brings you to 17. Pass. Now we're kind of stable.
I will play Venerated Luxon.
Yep.
I will play in a Johnny the Greathearted.
Yep.
I will plus and gain 3 life. Here we go.
So you go to 20.
Yep.
Well, this was almost super awesome, but it's still pretty awesome. I will time wipe bouncing the deputy. Conclave Tribunal says opponent control, so he's not forced to deal with his Ajani. So I'm forced to recast deputy and deal with Johnny.
Okay.
And pass the turn.
You're still at 3.
I am at 3, and you're at 20.
Go.
Attack for 1.
19.
Pass.
Make a big dumb elephant. Your turn.
It's actually pretty nice for me because now I get to get my deputy and hostage taker out of Tolsimir range. So we'll convoke it.
Need to pay 1 more.
Yeah. And get counters on these and then pass the turn. Now I have 9 power.
Go.
Attack you to 10.
1 point. My deck plays 21 lands.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
21.
I hate to ask that question, but
You can go.
21. Okay. What am I at?
You're 10. I have 9 power.
Alright. Kick Saproling Migration.
Yep.
And here you go.
Cry the Carnarian. Attack for 3.
I'm at 7.
7, play a Thief of Sanity. Pass the turn.
Alright, you win.
Whew.
That was a good game.
Yeah, that was a good one. I thought I stayed with Todd pretty well, but I did it with Thought Erasures, taking the powerful cards out of his hand, and that let him get some significant damage in.
Yeah, I messed up though. I should have just played a turn 3 Luxodon. If I make 8 power on turn 3, like you might have the answers, but it's going to take you a couple turns to do that, and then you don't get to Thought Erasure me 3 times for
Yeah.
full blown value.
So my plan, expecting you to play that, was to deputy on turn 3, deal with the tokens.
Yeah.
Then I had because I only had the one other Thought Erasure at the time, and then turn 4, Thought Erasure plus a removal spell, plus Moment of Craving on something.
Yeah.
Because you would have had Tithe Taker, and Thought Erasure would take the Tolsimir, but then I'd still have to deal with that 4/4. So you might have gotten in enough damage to beat me, especially with the other locks on off the top.
Yeah.
I might not have had time to find the time wipe.
All right. Well, a lot of new cards today, and I don't know. I mean, the ones that impressed me the most. Let's see. Let's go over each match. First match.
Tezzeret continues to impress. The cards around it. Karn was not very good.
No, you have to play a bunch of mediocre artifacts. Like I don't think Fountain of Renewal stuff like that is like very good. Like Treasure Map's obviously nuts, but if you can build like a Tezzeret deck that plays just the good artifacts and doesn't have to play a bunch of the bad ones,
Maybe the new vehicle, the blue 2/3 vehicle.
maybe. But that card you have to crew it with like for 2.
You can crew it with Hostage Taker. Can't crew it with Fibblethip. I think cards like Fibblethip increase your number of artifacts. If you don't have a lot that you want to play, then playing a lot of card draw things to make sure you hit them is another way to enable it. So maybe you want something like Fibblethip. Maybe you want to like Fibblethip Psi planeswalkers and then play Mox and have another good artifact that way.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the Esper version that I built last week felt better than the one this week, even though this one has like a sweet combo or whatever.
Yeah.
It's possible that there should just be some hybridization between the two. Like I want spells that do something and create Thopters, and that's my artifacts, besides.
Yeah, you could play like Depose Deploy.
Yeah.
Because I think Tezzeret is powerful enough on its own.
Yeah,
I think that card is just really good.
It does feel really good. I think that there's some to the Thopter engine, like Dovinbon, or not Dovinbon, but Dovin Grand Arbiter or something. I don't know. Doesn't matter. What was your first deck? You had Rakdos aggro, and you were playing
Rakdos midrange with the new Chandra, which we only saw in one game, but it looked good. I think it improves that deck. So that's a deck you like. I would definitely be looking to find room for Chandra. Yeah, I don't think it appreciably changes like how the deck is, but I think that's a solid card, and I think it importantly I talked about the incidental damage that it does. I think that's an important aspect of the card, and you want to build the rest of your deck with that in mind. Sure. And the Rakdos deck is already built with that in mind, and most red mid-range decks are. So don't know if you go too far out of your way.
Yep. Second match, we had Grixis mid-range control, whatever you want to call it, versus
Boros Heroic.
And the Heroic deck looked pretty sweet. The new creatures all looked awesome. Feather was like a must kill, or else it was just going to get way out of control. And I didn't even have a deck coming up against you where something like, was it Reckless Rage, the one mana, where Reckless Rage is good. And if you get into a situation where Reckless Rage is good, like Feather just gets out of control.
Yeah, you cast it once on your turn, once on their turn. The Feather doesn't die either time. You just mow down their board.
Yeah.
Both 2-drops are really impressive. Dreadhorde Arcanist and 10th District Legionnaire.
10th District Legionnaire looked
a little Hunger Games.
Unbelievable. Haste on it with it's basically Favorite Hoplite with haste, and Favorite Hoplite was already like Battlewise Hoplite. The lack of 1-mana creatures is definitely something that's going to be contentious in that strategy.
So I think the deck needs to be a little bit less heroic-y, a little bit more like protect my stuff, though I do like Samet's Sprint, because haste is really good.
I didn't think that card was going to be that good, but giving your creatures haste in some spots, especially Krenko, give it haste, or Dreadhorde
Arcanist, Aurelia giving it haste with Mentor.
Even Feather, you give it haste, hit them for 5, and you get the thing.
It's a free scry, kill a Planeswalker a lot of the time.
And your deck, like, you don't have that many overall resources to work with, like raw resources. So like scry is actually pretty important in making sure that you don't flood, which I think is a pretty big deal too. And like the scry on Samus's Sprint might be
so all the creatures are good. The question is exactly what spells. Yolarson was in the chat, suggested some green cards that seem good. Assume, Thrash Threat, and there's also Collision Colossus is a really nice, pump spell, removal spell for big flyers that you can target either half with Dreadhorde Arcanist.
Yeah, I definitely think Collision Colossus is good. Like you get to go do crazy amounts of damage with Dreadhorde Arcanist.
Yeah. One of the issues with decks like this is that they're incentivized not to play a lot of removal. My list had actually too much because you need all the synergy pieces. And when you have ways where removal overlaps with synergy, that was the big thing that made Dromoka's Command and Banter Oak so good. And we have that with Reckless Rage, and Thrash Threat does it, and Collision Colossus does it, because it can be either or. So a lot of ways to make that overlap and shoehorn extra removal in the deck. So there's some few different ways to take it, and that's something I'll definitely be working on for Standard for Richmond.
Yeah. Last match, we had Selesnya tokens, Zakini's build with a couple new cards slotted in. Johnny the Great-Hearted did not feel that good.
I've played it a couple times now, and it's disappointed, and it disappointed again. The card might just be win more, where you're like, when you get to minus, when you already have this big battlefield.
Yeah.
Well, they were already playing Huatli, which seems worse than a Johnny to me.
Well, Huatli, what does Huatli do ultimate-wise? Like, I know it ticks up immediately.
Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, you draw a card.
Yeah, that actually seems pretty insane.
Yeah, the fact that it can threaten something like that.
Yeah, well, it also just that Huatli in particular, like, you cast it on 4, tick it up, and then it's almost ready to ultimate almost every time. And then your opponent has to deal with it immediately, and it's hard for them to deal with your battlefield and the Huatli. And if you get to ultimate the Huatli, they're never beating you. Every Sapper of the Migration draws 2 cards or 4 cards. Every March of the Multitudes draws 6 or whatever. It just gets out of control. So I think maybe Huatli just better in that spot. The new Johnny is, again, I'm not super huge fan of it. And then, of course, we tried Tolsimir, Friend of Wolves again. When I drew it, it was quite good and did some cool things. I don't know if it's better in a token shell than something like Tristani Discordant. I think Tristani is still very, very good. Pumping out your creatures, very, very good. And it is contending with that spot. So I would look for a more of a mid-rangey Lionel Rolls deck to want to play it instead of a tokens deck. And tokens deck just kind of stick to playing Tristani.
I certainly agree that Tolsimir fits best in the more mid-rangey deck, but it just seems so good. Like maybe you can play both. I don't know. Like we have 2 Quatleys. Maybe those should just be Tolsimirs and not play a Johnny's and get to play Tristanis too. Because every time you cast Tolsimir, it looks great. Like killing Hostage Shaker and Thief of Sanity and Deputy Detention and small creatures against white decks. And, you know, sometimes it just like the Willful Trade is something that's important. It just seems so good. And, you know, in combination with Tristani, now you can take out 3/3s with it if you draw one of each.
Sure.
So
and survive, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And now, last but not least, your Esper mid-range deck that had a bunch of new Planeswalkers in it.
Yeah.
Card that impressed me the most, Teferi Time Raveler.
Yeah.
Reveler or Raveler?
Reveler. No, Raveler.
Time Raveler.
Yeah. Raveler.
The plus on it didn't seem that relevant. Like I was basically just like, okay, attack everything at Teferi, and you're like, play this thing that I could have very easily played.
Yeah.
But there's going to be some spots where your opponent has like haste creatures, for example, and you just get to, cast a Wrath against your opponent's hasty creature, and that's pretty good.
Yeah. It's one of those things that doesn't come up very often, but when it does, it's awesome.
Yeah, I think the static ability on it is one of the most powerful of all the Planeswalkers, just because it completely hoses control decks. They can't play counterspells.
And Reclamation decks.
Yeah, hoses Reclamation, hoses counterspells, just a really powerful static. And then the minus, I thought it was going to be okay, and it looked great.
Yeah.
Just great.
Drawing the cards off of it, like, it's so huge. I got to play out really smoothly in basically every game, as long as I had early 2s and 3s. And there was one game I kept in that didn't and drew into them. But the other games, like once I played Teferi, drawing the extra card, I draw the extra card off Fibblethip. Maybe I get cards off of Thief of Sanity. I surveil off of Thought Erasure. So you just set up your draws so well on the turns 4, 5, and 6. You're doing really good things every time.
Yeah.
So
now, I'll say this. Obviously, any Planeswalker that ticks down and goes to 1 loyalty is going to be vulnerable to things like Fanatical Firebrand or Goblin Chain Whirler, and you're not going to see Teferi shine against red aggressive decks. 3-mana Planeswalkers don't normally do that. You're going to see Teferi just be an absolute house against Control, Wilderness Reclamation, and pretty awesome against mid-range decks just by going like tempo bouncer thing to buy me enough time to be able to land some of these more powerful Planeswalkers as the curve goes. For 3 mana, that is a nuts effect.
Yeah. And the fact that you have this 3-mana card that hoses Control and Reclamation out of your mid-range deck means that you can bias your main deck more to beat aggro, which is what this deck does.
Right.
You still have a ton of Planeswalkers and like Thief of Sanity and Thought Erasure. So with Thought Erasure into Teferi, you're probably not losing to a Control deck, and you're probably not losing to a Reclamation deck if you just start on those. So you already have a reasonable just game 1 with those. You play enough removal to beat up the aggro decks. You have main deck Wraths that are really good in the deck. And then you sideboard like 8 cards.
Yeah, Dovin's Veto for 1 is going to be huge against Esper Control. Just your opponent casts a Teferi, and you Dovin's Veto it. That's the end. Their Teferi is no longer on the stack anymore, and there's nothing they can do about it. So I love the fact that you have the deck built like that. Like it just looked really cool. The Thief of Sanities are so good against those like mid-range and control decks. Like if they don't kill, like it's just going to run them over. And you have like a bunch of ways to pressure them with Planeswalkers that they just might not be equipped to deal with. Like all of it just came together really well. I'm really impressed by the build of it at the very least.
So I was impressed by it as well. I'm never really sure, like building a mid-range deck, do I have the right tools? But I think Teferi warps the way that you can build them, which is super important for mid-range. And you have all the tools available to you in the Esper colors. It's just a matter of where they all are to maximize your percentages pre and post board in the matchups. Teferi makes that problem so much easier to solve. Well, in addition to being a powerful card. And the one Karn's Temporal Sundering, like I had enough things to use with it, and it looked really good.
Yeah, I mean, with if you have a Planeswalker on the battlefield, that means you're guaranteed to cast at least one more or get one more activation out of it, and that's usually like the turning point for Planeswalkers.
I should probably have a Vile Offering in the deck too.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it didn't seem like with Fibblethip and just a couple of cheap Planeswalkers, like you get to turn on the legendary spells pretty easily, and honestly, Yawgmoth's Vile Bargain or whatever, Yawgmoth's Vile Offering is just disgusting. The card is just gross.
Maybe even play a single Mox Amber. There's some
Yeah, there's a lot to work with. It's,
Yeah.
What's more important is to focus on the things that 100% work. And Teferi, Time
Yeah.
Raveler just look nice.
Yeah, Teferi alongside that Demir package, you
Yeah.
know, with the Thief, Hostage Taker, Thought Erasure, like splashing for Teferi, getting Mortify in your deck, and then filling out the curve from there. You know, we didn't get to see Sorin work, and you know,
Some of the Planeswalkers I'm not sure should be in the deck. I liked the one that protected your stuff, whose name is
Kazmina.
Kasmina.
I think Sorin works really well in the deck, being able to rebuy Deputy, Hostage Taker,
Yeah,
Thief of Sanity.
maybe, but that revolves around them dying, and like against control deck, like Sorin just doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, but they do die against a lot of the mid-range decks.
Or I guess
Cool.
you can keep rebuying Thief Sanity against them.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are over time. Let's take 2 questions here, and
I
then
don't really have any questions.
Cool.
I have
Excellent.
a couple comments to say maybe Giant Growth would be good in the Naya deck.
Yeah,
I mean, any pump spell is probably okay, just because of how it works with
yeah, it's just a
Feather
question of
and-
whether they're better than Intervention or Samet Sprint, and that's
Integrity
probably not true.
Intervention.
And then the
best
Samus
one.
Sprint, someone mentioned maximize velocity. For that.
Yeah, I think Sprint is probably better because it's an instant.
Well, it also scries and gives a little bit. It gives 1 more damage.
Yeah,
The scry is like pretty important.
Yeah,
The
I don't-
Jumpstart's, nah.
you're often not like just sorcery speed throwing a bunch of stuff on a creature the way maximize velocity works.
Mhm.
You'd rather like play tricky and be able to hold up your spells. They don't know how to block. They don't know how to use their Searing Spear without like lightning striking your creature.
Yeah, even the +1 toughness at instant speed can save like a 10th district guide from a shock or whatever.
Or from a lightning strike
Or from
because it
a
gets
lightning- yeah,
counter.
yeah, yeah.
Same with Arcanist, saves
Right.
it from 3 damage
Save
spells.
with feather as well. If they go for like a lava coil, you can save it for
Yeah.
1 mana. So
So
I think being instant speed and giving a toughness boost is a pretty big deal, and it might mess up combat math a lot for your opponent in some weird spots where they're trying to block. Whereas maximize velocity is just like put it on the table, and they're just like, okay, I'll take 4.
yeah, exactly. So
All right. Well, we're gonna call it quits here for today.
got
A lot of really
subs?
sweet matches. Yeah. Do we have any subs today?
Yes, we do. Let me search for those real quick. I should have had them ready. Don't hate me. All right, Scotter Bow has subscribed for Prime 2 months.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. Sloppy Goopers.
Sloopy Goopers.
Sloopy Goopers.
Todd's favorite screen name.
Yeah,
5
every-
months.
Every month for the
5
last
months.
5 months. Sloopy
Master
Goopers.
Marshmallow 3 months.
It's a good one too.
And then Endgame 13. Hello everyone for 6 months.
Thank y'all for them
And
subs.
that is the subs for today.
Alrighty.
Okay, we're gonna keep going with War of the Spark next week. You can join us here Tuesday, same time, same place, twitch.tv/SCG Tour. If you're watching us on YouTube, we're gonna be live at 1 p.m. Eastern time, and we're just gonna keep exploring these things. I think like diving into more heroic.
Yeah. We starting today, they started doing what I think is like chapter 3 of the story, where the eternal gods come out and stuff. So we're gonna
Okay.
probably get a lot of mythic rares coming out in the next few days. So expect us to be brewing a lot with those next Tuesday and Thursday. So
Awesome. So we will see you then. That's it for today. For Todd Anderson, I'm Ross Miriam. We got Taylor over here as well, and we'll see you on Tuesday.